Unleash a simple way to feel happy with money. Today's episode is sponsored by Billy Keels Advisory Services. If you want to learn more about how to make your 99 optional, just go to makeitoptional.com. Once again, that's makeitoptional.com.
Helping you build freedom without losing your edge. This is the Going Long podcast with Billy Keels.
Unleash a simple way to feel happy with money is absolutely the very brief episode that's going to help you if you have ever had challenges navigating competing financial priorities in order to put yourself amongst the priorities, right? Because when you are someone who is an executive who cares for your family, you're the primary breadwinner, and you want to make sure that everyone else is taken care of, there is no lack of competing financial priorities. And usually those priorities, you end up putting yourself last. If you have ever struggled through that, listen to this very brief episode. I'm going to give you a very specific example of what has happened for someone who has navigated these competing financial priorities and been able to multiply by 10, 20x by putting themselves amongst the top priorities. I didn't say the number one priority amongst the top priorities, because here's the thing in my life, and I don't know about you, and I don't know if you're running on the treadmill or you're swimming or you're walking, but I have never met anyone that has unlimited amounts of money. Personally met unlimited amounts of money. To my understanding, it's pretty finite. We continue to print it all the time, so that's a whole different thing. But and I even know what it can be like, because myself, I invested $75,000 in myself and a coach, and I know what that's like. And I'm definitely not made from unlimited amounts of money. And I realized that even at the time, if I put myself in that perspective, just right off the bat, I remember that I was navigating a bunch of different financial priorities, and it scared the poo-poo out of me in terms of being able to navigate that. But this is not just about me. I mean, I've been there, I've done that, I understand it. But this is actually more about a recent client who navigated through and consistently speaking with execs and clients and future clients that are navigating competing financial priorities. But the thing is, there are always going to be competing financial priorities. And when you are head of household or someone who carries the brunt of the responsibility financially for your family, this is something that just yet another thing that you have to navigate effectively. And so I had a potential client who wanted to be able to invest in working with me one-on-one. And that was the desire, right? She really wanted to be able to work one-on-one. And what was happening at the time is, as we were having the conversation, she was looking for the validation, that it was okay. Well, of course, I can't give that validation. But the reason for this episode is because I want you to be unable to unleash a very simple way to feel happy with money. And part of it is how you prioritize it, the importance that you place on it, and what return are you looking to gain from it. Because you work so much and so much of your life helping and putting others ahead of you, because you want the best for them. You want to continue to contribute to them. And it's about being able to, once again, invest your time, your effort, your energy, and continuing to do that for everybody else. So at the end of the day, what is left for you? You're so tired that it's how do I just help everybody else? So you doubt that it's even time for you to have the support that you want, right? Because as you navigate financial priorities and you want to place yourself as a priority, you know what? You get to a point when you're looking around and you recognize, well, it seems that those that are prioritizing themselves, putting themselves as a top priority, not constantly putting themselves last in terms of effort, energy, and financial resources, they seem to be moving much faster towards their goals. They appear to be much happier because they are moving towards the things that give them the most energy, the most joy. And when you see that, you recognize that it is in fact possible. I started noticing it. I told you I shared that with you in the beginning of the episode. I noticed that when I spoke to people and they were explaining to me that they are putting resources, financial resources behind the goals that they have for themselves, they were moving faster. They were losing more, more weight. They were learning faster. They were actually building their asset portfolio, because a lot of the people that I were speaking with at that point in time, reflecting on my own journey, they were putting financial resources. They were working with other people. They were surrounding and changing their environment. And you get to a point where, when we come back to so that you feel happy with money, it's because you are navigating these different financial priorities, and you start to realize that once you have your and this is the kind of the process that I want to walk you through so that you can feel happy with money, with currency, as I like to call it, and being able to unleash it in a very simple way, is like asking yourself a couple simple questions. Number one, what are the basic necessities? And when I mean basic necessities, I mean taking care of your health, making sure that you have food, making sure that there is schooling that is taken care of. Because when those basic needs are covered, then you start to get to the next point. And that is, when you are placing those financial priorities, which is going to give you the highest return on your energy. Not everybody else's, right? Because that's important. But now we're talking about you. This is about beginning to prioritize yourself, and doing that against a number of, or amongst, not against, amongst a number of other competing financial priorities, which is going to give you the highest return on your energy, and which is going to also help you to create more opportunities for yourself, which means for your loved ones, because that's where you're focused. That's where your energy is. That's what you're compelled to do because of the type of individual that you are. See, I get it. It's never easy to prioritize yourself. It just isn't, because you've been wired differently. You're a high achiever. That's who you are. But the reality is, I just want to tell you, that's part of the process. It's never going to be easy, because when you begin to prioritize yourself, it goes against everything that you've been doing, that you've been working towards. But I'm here to tell you, others that I'm helping to navigate through this process, when you begin to prioritize yourself amongst those navigating and prioritizing yourself amongst all the other financial priorities that you are going to have, you're helping yourself, and you're helping those that you really want to contribute to. You're just doing it in a different way. It feels different. You're unfamiliar with the process. That's what I mean. Because, and just to share, as I helped to navigate this particular client that I mentioned to you in the very beginning, once she figured that out, when she started to put herself first, she realized that it was time for her to be in a position where she was getting the attention that she needed to help move her towards her goals, that goal of being job optional, meaning she enjoyed her job and enjoys her job, still today has the job, right? At least at the recording of this podcast episode. And the idea is that she will remain in the industry, in the IT industry, software, for quite a while she's building her own dream on the side. But she's getting the attention that she needs. She's getting answers to her questions in real time, right? Being able to have one-to-one direct access with yours truly. And I've been able to talk about this. We talked about being able to share. And some of the other things that are happening, right? As she's mentioned, she's getting clear on the way that she makes decisions. She's making them faster. She has the criteria. She knows the questions that she needs to ask to be able to move more confidently and get to the decisions faster. And she knows that she's working towards, and she's understanding what her why is, the lives that she wants to be able to impact. And guess what? She's even been able to, from a financial perspective, realize and identify 20 times the result of the capital that she has invested in herself. Right? So when you're looking at how do you, when you're looking at this, or if you're feeling challenged at how do you navigate these competing financial priorities, well, hopefully you've gotten an idea how you can unleash in a very simple way, a way that you can start to feel more happy with money and start to look at the return that it's going to give you on your energy, helping you to feel much more confident, to make to make decisions much faster, in a better way, more confidently, so that you can also get the highest return on your energy and get the return on your investment, right? And so if it's not you, but you know someone who's struggling with this, share the episode and then show them that you care by getting on the phone with them, talking to them, helping this concept become crystallized, become much more of a practical application. And while you're doing that, guess what I'll be doing? It's what I really, really love doing. I'll be here preparing for the next episode. So until then, go out and make it a great day. And thank you very, very much.